contest chairman, and he entered his first speech contest and won Area 22 Tall Tales. Tonight he's speaking from the Speaking to Inform Manual number 1, and the objectives of that speech are to select new and useful information for presentation to the audience. Yes. Organize the information for easy understandability and retention. Present the information in a way that will help motivate the audience to learn. His time is 5 to 7 minutes. And help me welcome Kurt Jensen. Beyond the Walls, Kurt Jensen.
Thank you, Janet. How many of us think in the micro? We look at the small picture. That we don't look at the macro, the big picture. I learned an interesting fact last week about goldfish, of all things goldfish. Do you realize if you buy a tank and you put a goldfish in it, it'll only grow to a certain size, relative to the size of the tank. If you buy a larger tank and you put that same goldfish in it, it will grow again, larger and relative to the size of the tank. This is a true fact. And I believe a lot of us, and I believe people, are like that. If we're not looking at the big picture, we start to gather walls around ourselves and we start to confine where we can go. Tonight, I want to talk about the Toastmaster organization, where we can go in that and how we can look at the big picture. Toastmasters is 70 years old. It's an organization that has stood the test of time. It is an organization that is dedicated strictly to the individual, and they say the only organization that does that. We've got 8,000 Toastmaster clubs in the world and 180,000 Toastmasters in the world. Toastmasters is built on an inverted pyramid. The most important person being the member, the club, then we have the area, division, districts, and a subset of the world is a region, basically where international directors come out of. We have the world headquarters, which handles the administrative part of Toastmasters, and we have the board of directors and the international president. I'm not going to deal very much with, since you're in a dance club, with the club and the positions that are within the club. I'll go right to the area. You are in, or will be in area 15, I believe. That's correct, Claire? Will be. And your area governor is an outstanding Toastmaster. His name is...
That's right, she was outstanding.
She is.
Yeah, her name is Robin Delorier, which is a member of your club here. There are currently 6 clubs in your area, and there are 44 areas in District 42. The area governor usually has an assistant governor who usually helps her along, and maybe when she can't attend a function or attend a meeting, she'll send that other person along. And that person kind of gets groomed to be an area governor, so there's a nice flow and transition of power. Not always the case, but it's actually they encourage you to do that. She also might have a secretary and a treasurer. Area governors make up the district council, and there's usually 4 district meetings a year. One at Kindersley, which is late fall, and then you have one at the conference, in the fall conference, one in the spring convention, and one actually in March at Variety Night, for different issues that are dealt with within the district. From your district, you go to divisions. And as our fish tank gets bigger here, this is District 42 with your different divisions. You have A, D, F, C, G, and in Saskatchewan you have B and E. As you can see there are 7 divisions in the district. And from your area speech contests, you will have speech contests at the division level. And at the division level, you'll have your 4 speeches, your humorous, evaluation, table topics, and international. The division governor, as opposed to the area governor, is an elected position. So you are elected at the spring conference. And usually this person is a Toastmaster that's been along in the organization for a few years, has at least got her CTM. And one thing that isn't important when you're division governor, that it isn't a prerequisite, is that you're good at table topics. So after tonight, a lot of you are capable of being division governors.
Okay. One mark.
At the division level, a lot of times as well, they will have workshops. We'll have a parliamentary workshop, a speech contest workshop, bulletin workshops. And a lot of the times they'll kind of do it in unison, like AD and F work pretty closely together, C and G work a lot together, and B and E, they basically kind of work on themselves. But this kind of gives you an idea of where we're at and where you're at in the district. At the district level, you have 5 offices. Well, you have the top, what's called the top 3. You'll have a division governor, which is Flo Mawson. You'll have a vice president of education, which is Buffy De Silva. And you'll have lieutenant governor of membership, which is Larry Andrews. As well, Tim Sane, you got 4. There's also, those are the 3 elected positions. But you have appointed positions, which is the public relations officer, who is an outstanding Toastmaster in this. I can't remember his name at this time, but it'll come to me. As well, we've got Alice Sears, who's the secretary, who's appointed, and Lisa Wallace. And usually the secretary and the treasurer are somebody that are close to the district governor that she's appointed, because there's a lot of interaction with them. Districts, there are 68 districts in the world. All right. One other thing about the positions is from membership to education to district governor are known as inline positions. And what that means is once you become into membership, it's the normal flow to go into education and then district governor. So you actually have 3 years of experience before you become the district governor. And again, those positions are elected at the spring convention, which this year is going to be in Edmonton. You usually will have 2 conventions in a district, one in the spring and one in the fall. Winners of the division speech contest will meet off at the district speech contest. And from the district speech contest and from the district, we go into the region. And in regions, it's done numerically. And this is our region here. Okay, so we're in District 42, we're Alberta and Saskatchewan. There's 64, which has Manitoba and some of Ontario. We've got District 17, which is in Montana, North and South Dakota, Minnesota, and Iowa. Good job. There are 7 regions, there are 8 regions in the world. I'll get into that a little later. But at region level, what you have is only the humorous and international speech contests. So from the district, you'll have your humorous speech contest, which ends at the region level, and you also have the international. And the international speech contest winner will go on the international speech contest at the international convention. Is that international enough for you, this organization? For executives at the region level, there are 2 international directors, and 1 is elected each year. So what you have is you'll have an experienced person 1 year, or each year you'll have 1 experienced person and 1 new person coming on. And at the region level, which is done in the spring, you have to win by a 75% vote. And if you don't win by a 75% vote as a regional director, you'll be placed onto the ballot at the international. So that's why sometimes you'll have a region running off for a director at international convention, and sometimes you won't. Okay, a lot of the times it's because somebody's got over 75%. And it's been as well, in some cases, that's just a rule. In some cases, they'll have, well, if it's 70%, it takes a lot of money to go on to international, so they'll say they realize that they've been defeated. But at the regional level, you only have that regional votes here from the clubs. If that regional director has to be elected at international, all the clubs throughout the world have votes. So I see quickly that my time's up, so I'll quickly zing through here. Here are our different regions. On the overhead, if you can see this. Region 1 is in the west, 2 down, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you have 8 regions within the world, and also kind of a sub-district, which is all the people from outside of North America, like Australia, New Zealand, and Africa. So what I do is I encourage you to look beyond the walls of your club, the walls of your comfort, to look beyond the boundaries of your city, beyond the boundaries of your imagination, to look beyond the borders of your province, beyond the borders of your dreams. You can make a difference here, or you can make a difference here. Madam President.